Yo, what's going on, everybody? It should be OY Between the Game Sports, and welcome. But before we get started, man, please hit that thumbs up button for me, subscribe, and hit that bell button for notifications. And while we're here, I want to ask, man, what y'all think of that new intro video? Uh, Something new. I want to use that one for football only. I got a couple of other ones. I got one straight for basketball. I got one that just kind of displays all sports in general. But that's not why we're here today. We are here to discuss Mr. Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback of Jackson State University, JSU Tigers. As we all know, he's been getting a lot of flack, and most of the flack is because he's the son of the great Deion Sanders. And bottom line is, people don't want to see him be successful. And so we got to take a step back and really look at this kid's play. And so my question is he a NFL quarterback in the near future? Some people say yes, some people say no. And I just want to know you guys' thoughts. I've watched both games, the game between JSU and FAMU, and I just watched the previous game where I did a live stream for that with JSU and Tennessee State University. Now, from what I see of this young kid, he is getting the job done. And shout out to Carmelo Moody, man. Appreciate you being here. He says, crabs in the barrel, we should be celebrating this young man. Absolutely. But again, he's only getting this flack because of who his father is. They don't want to see him be successful. They don't want to see Coach Deion be successful. And I still struggle saying that. Coach Deion, Coach Sanders, been calling them prime time for so long, but that's neither here nor there. This kid has absolutely, Mr. Shedeur Sanders, who somebody corrected me on that. I was spelling his name Shadeur, which is Shedeur. So I got corrected on that. But in the two games that I've seen NFL type throws. I've seen arm strength. I've seen poise. I've seen understanding of the playbook. I've seen understanding of the defense. And later on, I will show some highlights of him uh, of against TSU and how he just kind of picked them apart. And he took the drag routes. He took all those things. He took what the defense gave him, and that's what you want out of a quarterback. And you don't even expect it out of a out of a true freshman. And people are really nitpicking his game, and I just don't understand it. Shout out to Andrew, man. Appreciate you for tuning in. Andrew says, proud of the young man. Hope he continues to grow and his success brings more athletes to HBCUs. You're absolutely right. And the more that he wins, the more that Jackson State's put on a great performance, and the more that they win, they're going to get more recruits. I know y'all seen the video of Coach Sanders in the locker room. I think it was the game, getting ready for the game of FAMU, and he's talking to the players, and then he tells them, put on my theme music. Whoa, that gave me chills. I don't know about y'all, but man, I'm watching that, and I'm like, I would love to play for a dude like that, man. I had a coach like that when I was younger. Kind of the same personality, but playing for somebody like Coach Sanders, oh my goodness, that would have been a dream come true. Oh my goodness, I know those kids, they'll probably run through a brick wall for him. But on the season of Shedeur Sanders, this is the season stats. He's 48 of 64 for a whopping 75% completion rate. I'm gonna say that again: 75% completion rate, 48 of 64 for 583 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. So here's the real kicker about that: he's averaging 9.1 yards per pass completion. Y'all let that number sizzle in your brain and in your spirit. 9.1. There's not many quarterbacks doing that. And some people are going to say, yeah, well, look at his competition that he's played. FAMU defense was really good that day. And he just got in the groove against Tennessee State. But again, he took everything that the defense gave him. There were plenty of drag routes. He's looking deep downfield. Nothing's there. He goes through his progressions. Now he's hitting the crossing, man, and the drag, taking what the defense gave him. Again, I'm gonna put the highlight video up of him, and y'all can just watch that. But I'm seeing great things out of the pocket presence. I'm seeing him able to maneuver the pocket and understanding where the blitzes is coming from. If you see a blitz comes, he's hitting the quick outlet. We got to give this kid his credit, man. Carmelo Moody says his football IQ is outstanding. He's calling audibles and everything. Absolutely. They basically giving him the keys to the offense and told him, do your thing, man. Do your thing, and it's resulted in 2-0 for the Jackson State. And I know people were hoping that they lost both of those games. But look at his stats against Tennessee State. He set a completion record. What was it, 30 or 40? Somebody let me know. I think I got that wrong. Yeah, no, I'm right. He was 30 or 40 for 362 yards. His rating right now is 175.8. How many other quarterbacks in National Football League and the NCAA is doing that right now? Y'all let me know. And again, appreciate y'all jumping in here, man. Let me know where you're from in the comments. I always give you a shout out. I'm going to be putting up the call-in number in a second. Let you share your thoughts. But let me just go ahead and put the video up, man. I ain't going to waste no more of your time. Y'all sit back and watch these highlights. Slow motion right here. I just had to do that in slow motion. Protects the ball. Great. That's great footwork. Great ball protection. Look at that. Taking what the defense gives him and let his playmakers do work. That's all you can ask. Again, going through his progressions, recognizing the defensive pressure, getting out there and finding his release guy. And again, another drag route. That's arm strength right there. From one hash to the next hash. Putting the ball only where his receivers can get it. That's well beyond his years. Well beyond his. I love this kid's pocket awareness. Goes through his progressions. He's out. Sees his release. That's money. Let your playmakers do work. Again, another drag route. Carmelo Moody says Baltimore in the building, man. That's what's up. Be more. It's going to be shown again. Watch he throw this kid open. Only where his... I don't know about y'all, but he's only a freshman. He's only a freshman, people. Here's another one. Pocket awareness gets rid of it. I think this is the play action pass right here. Stood in there. That's arm strength. I'm going to stop it right there. I just want people to understand how good this kid's potential is going to be in the next 2 years. Now, some people may say he's only going to get a shot because of his father. And I really, really think that's not going to be the case. He can just play the game of football, and that's just it. That's the bottom line. He can play the game of football, bottom line. Now, for those who are in the chat, man, y'all let me know, who does he remind you of? Who does Shedeur Sanders' skill sets remind you of? Jared Brooks says that level of skill could dominate the SWAC easily. H-Town in the building. What's up, Jared, man? Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah. I don't know if they play PV this year, but if they do, PV gonna be in some trouble. TSU for sure gonna be in some trouble. All right. I think PV lost to Incarnate Word or UTSA this past weekend, like 40-7. There was a whole bunch of throttlings, but they also play so-called teams that are supposed to be a little better. Now, Jackson State plays University of Louisiana Monroe, I think, this weekend. That's going to be their first test. You know, ULM is in the Sun Belt, I believe, or the WAC, considerably a better conference. But I'm waiting to see what this kid does when he plays against that type of competition. Carmela Moody says, if his last name was Brady or Manning, we couldn't say enough good things about it. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, man. When Peyton has a little son, that like 10-year-old son that's playing football right now, and I believe they're already kind of talking about him. So, yeah, absolutely. The problem with him, Shedeur Sanders, is, again, I said it earlier in the stream, that his father is the reason why he's getting the bulk of all this criticism. If Coach Sanders was just a normal player, went about his business, didn't say much while he played, there would be no attention right now. There would be no attention to Jackson State. And this is the cost of being the son of a Hall of Famer, being one of the most recognizable football players ever. Coach Sanders, prime time, as we called him when we were younger, he was must-see TV. And so now people are trying to find any way to kind of take him down, bring him down a notch, and hoping that his sons fail. But as of now, it's not looking like it. Again, his stats are unbelievable. Unbelievable. I wish they said his overall rank for stats throughout the season. But again, 75% completion rating ratio is almost unheard of. I think Baker Mayfield was kind of in that area when he won the Heisman. Who else? Patrick Mahomes type people when they were playing in college. Those type of guys. Those are the type of completion rating that they had, when they played in college. 362 yards and 3 tubs. Again, showing pocket presence, awareness, understanding what the defense is trying to do. And he's a true freshman. And my thing is, he's only 6'2", 205, or 210 or something like that. He hasn't even hit his college weight yet. Wait till he get that college weight on, and he's already showing the great arm strength. Do you guys believe he's a pro? Yes or no? I'm going to go ahead and put the call-in number up. If you want to call in, please do so. This is your time. This is on my mind. I just really wanted to do this show because people were continuously trying to hate on this young man. And I've watched 2 games, and I'm a great believer of the eye test. Great believer of the eye test. Again, folks, today we are talking about Shedeur Sanders and his ability and his projections of being an NFL quarterback. My whole thing is, again, a lot of folks said he's not a good quarterback, all this yada, yada, yada. But people don't understand how hard it is to be a 4-star recruit. Think about that for a second. Here's a young black man played at Trinity out in Texas, and he was a 4-star recruit. That's right. That's right, borderline being a 5-star recruit. So don't tell me he can't play the game of football and he's only good because he has recognition because of who his father is. That's not how this works. And again, like my man Carmelo Moody said, if he was Brady's son or Peyton Manning's son or Drew Brees' son, we'll be singing praises. We'll be singing to the heavens. But because of who he is and who his father is, they don't want to give him his flowers. As we're saying nowadays, giving people their flowers. So that's why I decided to do this stream. I wanted to give him his flowers. Shout out to Jared Brooks. Jared Brooks says, I believe he'll go pro regardless of the controversy surrounding his name. I believe so too. The best thing about football is no matter what level you play at, if you can play, they're going to come find you. If you can play in football, they're going to come find you. They have 6 rounds. I know for sure 6, might be 7. So if you can play, they're going to find you. Another crazy thing. Tom Brady was the 199th pick. Slow as I don't know what. He was really, really good at Michigan, though. People forget how good Tom Brady was at Michigan. But one of the slowest quarterbacks ever. Was fortunate enough to get drafted by the Patriots and have an injury to Drew Bledsoe. And y'all know the rest of the history. The Tuck game against the Raiders, that happened. They ended up getting their Super Bowl. And now he has 6 more since then. And he's considered the greatest of all time in football by most people. So you mean to tell me that Tom Brady can go 199 and Shedeur Sanders in this day of age with everybody's trying to find a so-called pocket black quarterback, he can't get it done. What I saw from Shedeur Sanders on Saturday was arm strength of Jameis Winston. If you saw Jameis Winston play yesterday, he had that type arm strength. My man Hope Jorgen said Jacoby Brissett is a good comparison. I like that comparison. Not very fast, good arm strength, understanding of defenses. The best thing from what I've seen Shedeur Sanders right now is he understands who he is. And like Carmelo Moody said earlier, the football IQ. And that's part of knowing who you are and what you can do as a quarterback. I've seen him make passes from one sideline to the other sideline. Arm strength. That's one of the things that they measure on quarterbacks. Can you be on the opposite hash and make an out pass to the other sideline? And again, man, anybody want to call in, please do so. I would love to hear your voice. Let me know where you're from as you call in. People still here in the chat, man. Please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and hit that bell button. I know it's early. It's 5:40. It was 5:45 when I started this. Some people just getting off work. If you're in the central time zones, and if you're in like the west of Cali, you definitely ain't off work yet. But I appreciate those who tune in. No, it's hard. And it's the first night of Monday Night Football. So this was a hard time to try to find somewhere to talk about this. But it had to be done. Had to be done. Carmelo Moody says those same people for not giving Coach Prime his respect now will be the same people complaining when he goes to another program. That's, hey man, you speaking the truth right now. If they would be sick if Coach Prime left Jackson State. They would be sick if he left the SWAC. They would be sick if he left for a Power 5 school, which is, not a HBCU. And they would call him a sellout in a quick second. But here he is down. He didn't have to come and do this. Some people, oh, he's just doing it for recognition. No, he's one of the most famous football players to ever lace him up. He came down, he felt in his spirit that Jackson State was where he's supposed to be, and he's getting the job done. They're 2-0 right now. So why are we not celebrating his success? Why are we not celebrating Shedeur Sanders' success? Why are we not celebrating the Jackson State success? They're 2-0. Both of their games have been on ESPN. I would love to see the numbers of viewers that they had for this last game against Tennessee State. Because when the game first started, it couldn't even stream properly because everybody was trying to find the game. Again, must see TV, but there were probably more people. You know what? Let me not assume, but there were quite a few people who tuned in just to see if they would fail. And that's when you know you're great, and that's when you know you're destined for greatness, when people are tuning in just to see you fail. But the best way to shut people up is go out there and play your game. When you win, that's when the people will follow. That's what I've always told my teams when I coached. Hey, when you win, coaches will follow you. When you win, fans will follow you. When you win, you get to play on the prime time court. Instead of an 8 o'clock game on a Sunday morning, you get to play at 12 o'clock noon when coaches can get out and still see you. Shout out to Jerry Brooks. Coming from a SWAC alum, we need the attention Coach Prime is bringing. It's embarrassing to see these programs get drove by bigger universities every year. Yeah, it is. Those are those money games. But this day and age and time now, those money games and those so-called guarantee games, they should be a lot more competitive now. It's happening in basketball because basketball programs, the smaller programs, can develop, uh, get JUCO guys and get 3-4 year guys in their program, and so now you see a lot of these mid-major basketball teams beating these teams like Duke and North Carolina and Michigan are losing to these type of mid-major teams. A couple years ago, SFA, the school that I went to, they beat Duke at Duke. Had a bunch of seniors on that team, and everything played right. So this can happen in football now. And Jerry, you're absolutely right. I did a video about this maybe like last week saying the SWAC needs Coach Prime more than they know. HBCUs need Coach Prime more than they know. Why? Because kids that are around 18, 19, 20 years old, they have parents who grew up watching Coach Sanders play, and they still had a nostalgia feeling. They grew up watching a coach, Eddie George, play. So they're fans of these two black men. So you want, as a conference, as a league, as universities, as colleges, you want these two dudes to be successful. Why? Because if they do, parents of kids these days can convince their child to go there, to go to Jackson State, to go to Tennessee State, to go to Bethune-Cookman, to go to FAMU, to go to Southern. But I will say this: if those type of universities are not upgrading their facilities, are not doing the best effort to put better weight rooms, better stadiums, they will continue not to get those kids because these kids love that type of stuff now. So all HBCU alums need to really, really get behind Coach Sanders, get behind him. I really, really hope these guys are successful. I really hope Shedeur Sanders will be successful. I believe in 2 years he will be an NFL quarterback. They may not draft him in the first round because he plays at HBCU, but he can be a third or fourth round draft pick, be a backup, getting in there and learn the system. Carmelo Moody says, "Wake up, family. I believe Coach Prime. He's trying to level the playing field with talent and resources." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is why he went off at his press conference the other day about having names on the back of the jerseys. These kids love this type of thing. But he was absolutely right saying parents want to see their child's last name on the back of their jersey. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't cost much to do it because I make shirts, I make jerseys. I know how it's done. So these universities have the resources to get it done. Instead of holding on to money, man, look, I work with a lot of college coaches. Got a lot of college coaches' numbers in my phone, not trying to brag or anything of that nature. And I talk to these dudes all the time. They have so much money stored away, it's ridiculous. A lot of times it's a rainy day fun type thing. But it can be done. But a lot of folks, well, tradition. You know what? Tradition needs to change sometimes. And this is one of them. Put those kids' name on the back of their jersey. Because if other programs can do it, then HBCUs can do it too. That's the problem. We keep holding on to the past, holding on to the past. It's time to let some of that stuff go. One, because we not if we holding on to the past, we're not even talking to the younger generation about past traditions. So why are we holding on to it if we not even talking to those young men and young women about those past traditions? You can't have it both ways. That's not how this thing works. I don't mean to rant, but man, that kind of got me fired up right there. They can do it. They just have to want to do it. I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. I don't want to hold y'all too long, but it just I'm really proud. I would say this. I'm really, really proud of Shedeur Sanders. One, for being able to play this game and understand this game and know who he is as a player. But two, understanding how to handle and knowing how to handle the pressure of being the son of Deion Sanders. Because can't nobody say that he is not handling the pressure of being the son of a Hall of Famer. And if anybody's saying that's not pressure, they absolutely wrong. They're absolutely wrong. The kid is doing a great job on the field. He's doing a great job in interviews. He's been a great leader. If y'all seen the video of him, after he inked his deal with Beats by Dre, he went out and gave his whole team headphones, letting them know this ain't about me. It's bigger than me. Yeah, I may be the one signed, but everybody's gonna reap the benefits of this. And that's what you need to see in a leader, in your quarterback, in a leader of young men. Because there's different ways to lead. And being able to lead men is a whole different level of being a leader. Whole different level. Some people lead it by example. That's one way. Some people lead by their voice. But being able to lead a group of men, that's different type of leadership right there. So I'm giving my hats off to that young man. I'm giving him his flowers. I really hope that he makes it to the NFL off of his name, not his father's name, which I really believe he will make it off his name alone and his play. Again, last week he went 30 for 40 in the Heritage Southern Heritage Classic, which is a game record for 362 yards for 9.1 average. For the season, he's 48 of 64 for 583 yards. No interceptions. He had 2 turnovers against FAMU, but to be a young quarterback, to have that type of pressure, for your first 2 games to be on the Family of Network or ESPN, and you have no interceptions, tell me he is not handling the pressure. I might be crazy, but I think not. I think not. Man, please, for those who are still in here, I know it's a rough time trying to get here and be on the show. I did this a little too early because the Monday night football game was coming on tonight. I know people are gonna be watching that. Some people are getting off work. But if this is your first time to the channel, please subscribe. I'm trying to do more and more of these things. I'm working on some coaches interviews. I'm working on some NFL player interviews, all those type things. So please subscribe and then hit that bell button to get those notifications when I drop a video, when I drop a live or anything like that. Also, like this show real quick for me. But that's just my little spill today. I went started rambling, held y'all on too long. But my final thoughts is I believe Shedeur Sanders will be an NFL quarterback in the next 2 years if he comes out after his junior year. So I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Y'all, please go down to the comments. Leave your thoughts about this show. If you like the intro, let me know in the comments because that's a new intro. But as I always say when I get done with these things, man, on your best day, be better. Between the Game Sports, I'm out. Peace.